No, people, the unthinkable has happened, man. There is a new feud going in the hip-hoposphere, and it's another drill rapper, a veteran of Chicago drill, going at another media personality in the scene, man. It breaks my heart to see it, but we're going to have to get into all of the tea in this video because it is absolutely crazy what's going on out there, okay? Because it sounds like G Herbo is possibly feeling the heat. Okay, I've covered it in a couple of videos. There's a lot of stuff going on in his area where he's from. There's been people have been getting shot, people have been getting arrested, surveillance footage is coming out. He's got a lot going on right now. Okay, so no doubt he's really not feeling the stress. He's really not feeling people saying this and that about him. Look, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm gonna put my hands up. I've made a few videos about G Herbo, but all of the situations going on around him are absolutely crazy. But he is now lashed out at the one and only DJ Vlad in a very long and detailed post. Absolutely gunning for DJ Vlad, man. This just happened a few hours ago, okay? This is G Herbo speaks on DJ Vlad, and he wrote a long comment underneath the post on Vlad talking about missing G Herbo. So maybe let's just check that out for context first. Here's the original clip. This is what Vlad said about Herbo.
Herbo, I was talking to his people about doing an interview, and ultimately he passed. But he did some podcast that got 678 views. Mm-hmm. Not 678,000, 678, less than 1,000 views. He spent an hour on this podcast, but he wouldn't do Vlad TV. But Vlad TV was interviewing him over and over again on his come up. But once he gets to a certain level, well, he don't want to do Vlad TV anymore because Vlad TV's the feds now and whatever. I feel like that's lame.
You're entitled to come here.
No, he's not entitled to do anything. No one's entitled to do. Like, I don't feel as entitled, but I feel like humans are naturally, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, if you do something for someone, most humans will try to return that favor for you.
Reciprocate it, yeah.
Yeah. The reciprocal beings, right? I've learned over time that when people do something for me, I try to do something back. Like I looked out for you when no one was checking for you. When you were just an up-and-coming artist. I did the Migos first interview. You haven't seen the Migos on Vlad TV in forever. Mm-hmm. I did a lot. Big Sean's one of his first interviews. You haven't seen Big Sean in forever. They'll go and do other platforms. They'll do that white girls, podcast. Bobby Altaf, because she's kind of like quirky or whatever else. So it doesn't bother me. I don't feel entitled, but I feel like, damn, like we put together some dope work. And you go and pass on me to do some lame shit.
But you know the reason why, though.
Why is that?
It's a softball interview.
Like G Herbo.
So Vlad's basically saying he wasn't feeling how G Herbo didn't put him on the list of podcast appearances that he had lined up in his recent press run. Now, Vlad has indeed done a couple of big interviews with G Herbo, but these were many years ago. This was DJ Vlad with G Herbo, or even back when he was going by Lil Herb on the Couch podcast. This was 10 years ago, okay? It's got 296,000 views, and then he's got another one 8 years ago when he's going by G Herbo, and that's got 293,000 views. Now, G Herbo did recently go on a podcast run. I'm not gonna lie, okay? I'm not gonna lie, okay? No disrespect to Vlad, but this was a legendary podcast run, DJ Vlad's platform is one of the best premier platforms out there when it comes to hip-hop interviews. His 6ix9ine interview series recently, it broke the internet. Absolutely crazy viral interview. One of the best interviews I've ever seen. But G Herbo's touching some serious numbers on his other interviews. He popped up on Club Shay Shay, got 861,000 views. That's more than both of his Vlad interviews, admittedly, a long time ago. Popped up on Bag Fuel, 185,000 views. He's on the It's Up There podcast. Shout out to my guy Big Loon on that one, man. He popped up there, 313,000 views, 86K on the Truth After Dark. He got 42K on the Bootleg Kev. He got 29K on the Way Up with Angela Yee. And look, I'm not gonna lie, okay? Vlad was saying, he pops out on podcasts that don't get many views. There are a few on here that don't get views, but shout out to those platforms, man. He popped out on the Adam Freeland show, and this interview is really the reason why DJ Vlad's not feeling G Herbo. I think he took this whole thing very personally. But look, you got Baller Alert Inc. 22K. Club Shay clips. Now, you got to scroll quite far to get to this. This was 3 days ago, and I feel like maybe this is the one that triggered Vlad, because this probably came out just before Vlad made those comments, and this only has 1.6K views. Now, shout out to the Morning Hustle. They're doing their thing. And shout out to G Herbo for blessing different platforms with interviews. He popped out for a lot of people. He popped out for Radio 1 DC, and that's not even got 1,000 views on it. That was 2 months ago, okay? So Herb is blessing people with interviews that he feels like rocking with, and he's apparently not feeling Vlad. Now, the reason why I think Vlad was going so hard was, I think, because of the comments made in this Adam Friedland interview. So this is the clip. I'm going to speed it up a bunch because I think I got copyrighted before when I played this clip, but this is just for context why Vlad maybe wasn't feeling G Herbo's attitude. But I feel like Adam Friedland kind of instigated this whole thing, if you ask me.
What do you make of, like, a series of, like, the content creators that have made careers basically off of you guys, like academics or Vlad, or like people that are like people that cover you guys and have like made money off of it?
See, if I was the type of nigga that I don't give a fuck about that shit, but if I did, I'd probably be like, yeah, you know, cut me in or do something. Like, I feel like all those kind of guys, what they should do is give to a non-profit organization in Chicago that I'm gonna challenge them to do that. Like,
What's
academics, Vlad, all you niggas that made money off of culture and people dying and bloodshed and shit like that, go donate $20,000 or $50,000 to a non-profit organization that focuses on just the betterment of kids. That's my opinion, personal opinion.
He's a lick.
Yeah. And
What do you make of that guy, academics?
Academics, like, I don't.
It's a little bit like his life.
I fuck with him though. Like, me, academics, we done met, we chopped it up, we done interviews, but like, I'm not gonna like see me being. I don't agree with everything saying shit like that to like academics, Vlad, shit like that, and just try to get back to the city and people who actively help in the city. That's why I fuck with like Out of Trenches. That's why I fuck with Golden Child. That's why I fuck with the people who actually trying to make a difference.
I really didn't want to get copyrighted there, but you kind of get the gist, okay? He said that they should be given back. But anyway, in response to Vlad's comments that were circulating when he was talking about on missing out on the G Herbo interview, Herb has now clapped back, and he's done so savagely, man. He said, Vlad, you didn't do shoot for me. Like, nothing at all. You think the interviews that we did in the past is what blew me up? You gotta be pooping me. You called me every time, not the other way around. And I obviously had some kind of motion. I didn't even know who the F you were when we first did an interview. I promise. I wasn't even in the loop back then. I just showed up wherever my team told me to, and I'll do another podcast and I get... Sorry, and he said, and I'll do another podcast and get 2 views. I do what I want to do. That's the exact reason why I'm not pulling up on yo goofy ass. Because you care about views. That's why you do what you do and ask the shit that you ask. I'm not rocking with it. I don't like what you represent, and you got no principles. You don't give a F about me or nobody you interview. You get a dude killed and sent to jail and be on to the next victim you take advantage of for clicks and views. F you, buddy. He said it with his chest, man. So look, G Herbo is just straight up calling out Vlad, okay? He is absolutely... He's not playing any games. He straight up said, F you, Vlad, man. You know what I'm saying? I rock with Vlad, man. It's hard to see, but ultimately that's how he's feeling, man. He's got to get that off of his chest. Now, over on Chiracology, man, they're saying no BS. Vlad is going to start dissing Herb in every interview worse than Dirk for the next 5+ years. They're saying Vlad be on Dirk D, bad as F. But F, dude, for real, it's sad dudes even let shows like Vlad and No Jumper get that big anyway, knowing they don't give a F about music, man. So anyway... All right, a lot of debate. They posted the South Park meme. F you, buddy. All right, I'm not your buddy friend, okay? you know, I don't know why G Herbo doesn't mess with me, man. It's a shame because I was one of the first to interview him after died. We finna hear that for the next 4 years, man. Oh, no, man. They're saying Vlad's going to stretch this out for the next 2 years. I know we're going to have a lot of clips, okay? They're saying he's going to interview a lot of dudes saying, you know, Herb dissed me. That's how Vlad be doing, man. Hey, remember the time G Herbo dissed me? I might have to ask Vlad about that when I link up with him, man. I might have to turn the tables and do some of the questioning, man. But yeah, a lot of people are agreeing, man. You know, they're saying now this dude Vlad gonna try and get an exclusive interview with Cairo from behind bars in the next 48 hours. Like, how did you say Herb treat you guys again? With a flashback and all, man. If you don't know, that was that legendary interview with OG No Limit. Veteran, man, No Limit Cairo, and he basically said, man, G Herbo ain't flying the guys out to Egypt like he said, man. Might be seeing Cairo up on Vlad very soon. It's crazy. Said Vlad used to have the best interviews. Now his personality's nasty and he talks way too much. Man, why are they hating on my guy Vlad, man? I feel like there's always a lot of hate for Vlad, but look, there's some positivity to it. Says, I mean, Vlad's not the best, but he did do a lot for Chicago rap. Vlad interviews are a win-win. Vlad gets someone that people want to see, and the interview subject gets the professional quality, exposure, and platform to be seen on. Okay, and it's true. Look, Vlad has a quality platform. Vlad is very good at putting interviews together. Like him or loathe him, okay, he is excellent at asking questions. He digs very deep. And look, okay, in spite of what G Herbo said about the types of questions that Vlad asks, okay, I'm not entirely sure I see that as valid, okay? Because I feel like a lot of people hate on Vlad. They say, oh, you're asking police questions. He's really asking the questions that you all want to hear, okay? Everybody in the Reddit's on some police stuff. Everybody wants to know what's going on behind the scenes. And he's really just tapped in enough to know the questions that people want to know the answers to. So, you know, when he says he doesn't want to ask those kind of questions, yeah, Vlad does ask good questions. You know, in a way, it's almost nearly right at the line of being a compliment, because at the end of the day, Vlad does know what's going on with people's lives and their backstories. And when people do a long Vlad interview, they really open up and tell their whole life story. It's like a movie. It's like a spoken word movie. His interviews are very high quality, and at the end of the day, he asks the questions that everybody wants to know the answers to, man. Sometimes there ain't no two ways about it. But anyway, what do you guys think, man? Is G Herbo in the right? Is Vlad in the wrong? Do you feel like maybe things are just a little bit too much for G Herbo right now and he's lashing out? I think it is a little bit of a crazy time, man. So maybe Vlad and G Herbo, they could patch things up, man. Maybe things will, you know, quieten down and they'll be able to set the record straight. There's always a good way back to kind of just, you know, squashing the beef and making content with people at the end of the day. We done seen Lucci and Thug get on a song together. So who knows, man? Hopefully Vlad and G Herbo can maybe see things a little bit more from each other's perspective. And maybe we might one day get that new Vlad interview that we're looking for, but I don't know, man, because it's some of the questions might be a tough day for G Herbo if he does get a less friendly interview like that. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, man. I'll be back with another video tomorrow. I appreciate you guys. I'm out of here. Peace.